Here's our next project, an 8-foot long, 6-foot wide trailer. Got it from one of our locals. You can see we've got some fresh wire in it, so it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, and a 6-pin connector put on. It needed a new wheel stud, and it got one. I took a bunch of trips to the auto parts store to figure out. It's got some seriously beefy leaf springs for a 6x8 foot trailer. Now this trailer was homemade, it says on the title, in 1984. It was a long time ago. So the wiring's almost done. I don't think I got the right lights for this yet, so I gotta do some testing to find out. The other thing was, oh, right here. See that crack? Big old crack. So that needs to get welded up. And the neighbor who was helping me spotted another crack. So that's what needs to happen right there, as far as I know structurally. So then the one thing that we had a lot of luck with is, let me show you here. This tube is a structural member, and then they added this C-channel on top of it. And it turns out, with a little trickery, we got the wiring, fresh wiring, all the way to the back and out both sides. So that came out really great. So it's got some kind of military style ramps that I'm gonna hinge to the back when that gets done. And trying to keep the rain out. This isn't going to help a lot, but it'll help a little, because the trailer's upside down, if you didn't know. Anyway, so it's in pretty good shape. They used to tow a quad on here, so it's pretty heavy duty for a quad. It's pretty low to the ground. One thing we could do if we really felt like it was flip the axle 180, flip it over, and it would give a whole bunch more, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches more ground clearance. But I don't know, it's survived this long without being changed at all. So anyway, the tires are rotten, sun rotted. They're 15-inch wheels, and 15s are getting hard to find, so I have to spend some money to get some real trailer tires, I suppose. Anyway, so there's a few, structural repairs it needs. I did notice right here, that looks like it's been rusted through. Let's see, make sure it focuses. Yeah, it looks like it's rusted through, so we may have to put a patch panel in there, if you will. Anyway, it's held up pretty good. It's got super beefy leaf springs, which I really like. So that's the new project. And we just got the wiring done yesterday, and I got the stud done a couple days before that, the broken stud on the wheel there. And actually it wasn't broken, it was 100% missing. So I got that. And yeah, so we'll test the lighting to see if I've got a single element light bulb in there or dual element. I think it's probably single. But of course I thought that of the lights for that trailer right there, and I was wrong. They're dual element. So I've been wrong twice. So anyway, this is our new project. We will bring you more updates on it as they occur. I'm trying to get this done first, even though it's out of order, because it's a lot more simple. It's tiny. It just needs a little bit of work. And the most fun about this whole trailer is flipping it back over with the tractor. The tractor really, it's showing its weaknesses too. Some of the hoses are some of the fittings on the hydraulic system are leaking fluid from lifting this much weight. So it can just get it off the ground, and we flip it over and put it back down. So I think that what'll make it a tiny bit easier is taking the tires off and then doing it, because then it doesn't bump into anything. Anyway, so I didn't pay much for this, and once it's done, you know, maybe sell it, maybe just keep it, who knows. You never know what stuff you can use a trailer for, because you usually don't buy a trailer ahead of time. You usually buy it when you need it, but that brings the cost way up. I got this super cheap, and I'm really glad to have it in advance of needing it. I've never needed anything this small. I always need something 16 feet long. But one of the bonuses of this thing is it's 6 feet wide. So it's pretty much almost full width. A little shy, I think. But 1984 homemade, and it had a title. And the current owner bought it back in, I don't even know, the 90s. So it's been around a long time. Just needs a little bit of work. Alright, that's it for now. See you, bye. Okay, here's an unsolicited update on the 16-foot trailer. You see all the axles are out. This is one of the original axles, the rusty one, and there's the other one. Neither one have brakes. These black ones both have brakes, so I'm going to cut one of them in half and sleeve it and re-weld it so it's the right width and has brakes. Then we'll have to add a wire, a blue wire, to make this power brakes. So that's coming. That'll get done. We keep working on it. This one's 16 feet long by, I can't remember the width exactly, but it needs a lot of, somebody stick welded it, and they, you know, it's homemade as well. So anyway, it's hanging in there. The biggest obstruction we keep ending up with is cows keep coming up here to pick through my trash. So they've knocked the barrels over, they moved the axle, I'm under the next axle there, and on. But we went to the dump yesterday and got rid of everything. And I think that takes care of it. But they were here again this morning because my trash cans were sitting neatly up against the garage, and now they're not. And that axle's been moved like I just mentioned. So anyway, I got some tubing to weld on the end of these ramps, and this is solid here, so all I have to do is cut it off, slide the tube on, and weld the ramp, or vice versa. It doesn't matter what order I do it in, and that way we've got a nice pivoting ramp set up. So I'm gonna like that a lot. It's ironic that the tubing that you use to slide on the outside of this after you've cut a big section out, my section needs to be about 19 inches long to cut out to make it fit this trailer. That tubing is $16 a foot. That's insane. So that's 32 bucks to do each axle. Now one axle would fit this trailer, and the other axle doesn't have a trailer yet. So maybe I'll just buy them one at a time, but the thing is, when you wait to buy stuff, it only gets more expensive. So maybe I'll get it 64 bucks for 2 pieces. Wow, I can't believe it. So I need to cut this and then cut a, maybe a 1-inch sample out and take it with me and make sure their tubing fits this exactly. They said it does, but when you have to drive 84 miles round trip for this kind of a project, you want to make sure it's as right as you can make it. Okay, and I mentioned something here about, see all the oil dripping on the bucket? And the oil right through here. There's oil everywhere, and it only happened because I was lifting that trailer up and down. Now one thing we added that's been super helpful, let's see if you can see it. See those white hooks? They had different colors, and the white ones are $4 cheaper. So I bought white ones. What do I care? And I got a 20-foot length of 3/8 chain, and you can hook them in those hooks, and we've moved the trailer was like the third project. Oh yeah, and we moved the axles from the back of the Dodge up to here twice. They've been on there, off, over here on the ground, and then back. So I don't know how many times I've actually used those hooks. They're very, very useful. The only thing I might do is, you can see the nuts and bolts stick out the back. So when I'm trying to level the dirt on the road, it gouges it. So I'm thinking, if I can swap the ends around and put the head of the bolt here and the nut on the other side, will it get in the way of the chain hook, you know, connecting with that hook? I'm not sure. So we'd have to actually just experiment. It's easy. You lift the bucket up, just lift it up off the ground 3 feet, and take the impact and a wrench and pop it apart and just try it and see what happens. So yeah, all this oil leaking really has me upset because it didn't leak before this. I never did much with it. Move some rock, move some dirt. Oh, here's the other really wonderful project for the tractor. Here is the Jeep's battery was dead, so it's on charge. All right here. That is a prototype cap for this hydraulic tank. It had a cap off of a spray can on there that fell off and got a bunch of rainwater in there and all kinds of crap. So this is a metric tractor, so the threads are metric. Well, I ordered some metric change gears to convert my lathe over to metric, and I don't know if the guy's on vacation or what, because I haven't heard from him, but this is 16 threads per inch, which is very close to 1.5 millimeter pitch. So it screwed in, what, 3 turns or something? I tapered the end of it to help it fit, and it actually fit pretty good. So now the tank's sealed and that won't vibrate off easily. And just as a prototype, and me practicing single point threading, which I've never done before. So anyway, here we are, Project City, man. Glad to have the land and the room to do it, you know. Anyway, that's all I can think of right now. Can't wait to get the lathe done. Oh, let me go show you the lathe real quick. Alright, here's the lathe. Here's 2 brand new gears, 44 tooth. What do they say on them? 20 PA and 16 diametral pitch, DP. And those are factory size. The factory gears are made out of Formica, and these were 3D printed, and they run smooth as silk, and I really like them. Have to make a spacer, which if you read that spacer, it says Craftsman on it. I had a shortened 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch drive socket, and I don't know what I used it for, so I shortened it some more and put it on here. So the metric gears that go on here that require that this gear be spaced out by about that much, I think. So that, or I make another spacer. So anyway, they go in place of the idler here, and intermediate gear, whatever you want to call it, and then I can cut metric threads. So here's the cap that used to be, you know, it's off a can of primer. Here's the cap that used to be on there. I put a clamp on it and it stopped falling off, but it just leaks oil out as things splash around in there, you know. Anyway, so the lathe is ready to go. The other thing I did that I'm really thrilled about is this is it is now 2 feet of 3 millimeter O-ring material, and I made a new O-ring drive belt for the tachometer because the tachometer belt had broken, I don't know how long ago, but it's been a while. And so you super glue the ends together. The distance was, what, 11.1 inches, and it went right on, and now my tack works again. So I can't wait to get this metric capable. I'll show you one other thing that I'm hoping my lathe can do, but I don't think it can, is we're zigzagging here. Okay, now on the Jeep, the coolant overflow tank has no cap. It's never had a cap. I don't even know where to get one. This is how it's been for the 4 years I've had it. So I was looking at cap technology today, and I forget what it is. It's like a 415 by whatever that distance is in millimeters. And I was hoping my lathe could make it, but the pitch of the threads is 4 millimeters, or 0.156 inches. My lathe can't go that high. It only goes to like 50 something thousandths for thread pitch. So that might require the CNC mill to thread a cap. I would like to make one. That'd be fun. But, you know, that's way off in the distance. Anyway, yeah, we replaced that light there, but I found out that I didn't wire it right, so got to fix my mistakes. There's a few of them here. And then of course this trailer, as you can tell, a lot of welds broke on it. See here? And so they need to be kind of hammered in place and repaired. That whole fender isn't even attached. The whole thing just pivots on this back end, so I'll get to practice maybe some, well, MIG for sure, but maybe some stick welding. Why not? Anyway, okay, that's enough rambling for today. I meant it to be an update for that trailer, but that's where everything's at right now. Thanks, see you, bye.